Hello Teach for Love channel, it's Mr. Galvez here with another installment. This is part 2 of Bike for Silas. I don't know what I'm gonna call this. Secret Bike for Silas? Something like that. And yesterday we talked, we showed you this cool Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle bike. We cleaned it up. You can see it's nice and shiny now. It was covered in dirt and grime, and now it's ready for phase 2. Phase 2, what we're gonna do today is we're going to replace these grips that are worn out. You can see it's so cool because they're nunchucks. So the only difference is that the grips that I bought are not going to extend so long. They're only going to come out to about right here, and they're black instead of red or orange. But so cool with that chain. I was like, why do they have a chain here? Because these are nunchucks like Mikey used to use. Okay, so I'm using a razor. I'm going to have to cut these off. And then this flathead screwdriver is for me to get off the rubber part because I might not be able to do it so easily. So here we go. I have to be very careful with this. I don't want to hurt myself. Alright, but I do need to cut through. That's pretty thick rubber right there. Okay, and I can feel it went all the way through. There we go. That's coming off pretty nicely. I just want to make sure I do not cut myself. Tell me on? Yeah. So you can see I got most of it off pretty smoothly with my tools. So I'm just cleaning it up because when I fit the new grips on, I don't want anything to interfere with them, just sliding on nice and smoothly. So this is side number 2. Side number 1 went really smoothly. We'll do handle grip number 2 now. So, see if I can get it all off in one. Ooh, look at that. That's a beauty right there. Don't you love it when a plan comes together? Like Hannibal Lecter used to say that. Hannibal? No, what was his name? Hannibal from the A-Team. Okay, ready? So, now, these are the grips that I bought from Walmart. So I'm going to go ahead and cut them off of here. They're zip tied. So that's grip number 1. This will be grip number 2. Alright. So let's see how easy it slips on. It's getting stuck right there, so what I might have to do is apply some oil, just a little bit of oil, but what I don't want to do, I don't want to make it slippery so that they slip right off when he's riding. So I'm going to try to do it by hand first. Almost got this one completely on. Had to get some gloves on because it was hurting my hands. So just about there. I'm going to do the other. Wait, let me straighten that out. So this is grip number 2, and this is my daily workout. The things we do for love, the things we do for love, the things we do for love. Alright, that's grip number 2. So we've got 2 brand new handle grips on there. I just want to clean this up a little bit. There's a little bit of the old grip right there. If I do it too hard, the silver paint comes off. Alright, I tested the back inner tube yesterday. I tried to pump it and it just seemed like the air was leaking out, so I'm pretty sure it's got a hole in it. This one looks like it has a hole in it too, so you can hear it hissing. When the inner tube does not have a hole, you won't hear that hissing after you pump it. So I'm going to replace both of the inner tubes. I got some Goodyear heavy duty tubes, 16 inchers. So I'll be doing that right now. All right, so I'm finding the right tool. There we go, I found it. It's a 15 millimeter. All right, so lefty loosey, righty tighty. I want to go left. You see how I'm going counterclockwise, the opposite way that a clock turns. So if this was 12 o'clock right here, this would be 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I want to go backwards. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Counterclockwise to unscrew something. So I took off the nuts here, and I want to make sure that I put them in a safe place because I'm going to need those. Very important. I removed the front wheel, and I'm going to go ahead and get to work removing the inner tube from here. I do have some tools that the new tube gives me. I may use them, may not. What did I do with my screwdriver? All right, I'm gonna get my other tools. So these inner tubes come with these bike levers, which are really helpful. Here they go right here. It just saves your hand from getting hurt, so you rub it all along the side here like this. Helps to take the tire off really easy. And the inner tube is inside. So there's the inner tube. Pull it right out. This might also be a Goodyear. Is it? I don't see the brand, but anyway, it's definitely got a hole in it because it ain't holding no air. But I'm gonna test it just before putting it on. I'm gonna test it one more time, make sure it ain't no good no more. Good. All right, so I'm pumping the air, and I can hear that hiss already. Somewhere around here, that air's coming out. There it is. I can feel it on my finger. Right there. There's the hole. So that's why this inner tube is no good. So here's the new tube. I'm going to take the valve cover and put it with my other tools over here for safekeeping. I do want to pump a little bit of air, just a little bit of air into it before I place it back onto the rim. So there, just like that. That might be too much. I might have to let some air out. See the hole? That's where the valve goes through. So I'm going to put that right through there like that. That is going to be too much air to put that tire over, so I'm going to have to let some of that air out.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so I'm going to proceed. Hold on, take it out. Alright, I am going to have to take some more air out of the tube, but I'm going to put it in the tire first. Can't do it the other way that I see it. I mean, I'm sure you can, but it's been a little while since I've replaced an inner tube. Maybe a couple months. I think I did it to one of the boys' bikes recently, but I do want to let out a little bit more air, so I press the valve with my screwdriver, and now I'm going to go ahead and put it onto the rim here. Now, how do I get all this back on? Using that same lever, and patience. Just use patience and be careful with that valve. You don't want to damage that valve. But you want to make sure the inner tube is seated securely onto that rim, and then you need to make sure that this inner lining of the wheel of the tire is inside this metal rim. Can't be hanging out. So that's the part that's the trickiest. It takes the most work. It'll help if I get that out of the way. Okay, so I almost got it on completely just using this lever. And there we go. It's completely placed on the inside of the metal rim. Now all I gotta do is pump that air into that inner tube and replace it onto the bike. So go ahead and fit it on there, clamp that puppy, rest it up against the bike there. Now my pump, I like it because it has this gauge right here, and I want to put it at about 60 psi, pounds per square inch. So it's at 40 right now. That's nice and solid there. Let me see what the recommended PSI. I should be looking at the tube right here. Oopsie. They don't say. .40 PSI. Maximum 40. Okay, so I'll let it know that it's good. Ready? Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put this one back on. So the tire does show me, on the inner wall of the tire, it does show me that I should have it at 40 PSI maximum. So I let out a little bit of air just to make sure it was around 40. I gave it a little bit more than 40 because some of that air is going to be released as we begin to ride. This is an important washer. You don't want to lose this washer. It goes into that little hole right there, and that helps secure this nut on there, so you don't want that getting loose on you in the middle of your ride. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten that back on. I want to switch this for tightening. Before it was set for loosening, but now I'm going to go to the right. So now I go clockwise. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to tighten that, not too tight at first. I want to do both sides about even. I don't want to over tighten it though, give you problems when you want to take it off in the future. Alright, we got one good tire. Sweet! I want to put the valve cover back on, and we go on to tire number 2. Now I'm working on the back wheel. There's a couple of extra things I got to do to the back because it's got these training wheels. So I removed one. It's got a couple washers on it. Got to remember the order. Regular washer, and then this bracket washer at the far end closest to the bike. I want to save those, and the nut as well. Now this side has the chain, so when I'm done taking this training wheel off, I'm going to have to remove that chain. So here we go. I'm going to also put some oil on this chain before Silas rides it. And we're going to start him off today just on the training wheels, let him ride just to get comfortable, and then we'll start giving him some lessons without the training wheels. Okay, here we go. Tell me. So I went inside and I got my gloves because this part is going to be messier. So I want to try to avoid having to clean my hands as much as I can. I got these latex gloves. If you're allergic to latex, then don't use latex gloves. I had to get my screwdriver, my Phillips screwdriver, to remove this safety bracket that's right here. That's on pretty tight. There we go. It was rusted a bit. I want to make sure I don't lose that nut on the other side. Alright, another nut we need to loosen is this right here, because this is screwed on tight to create tension on this chain. You see how this chain is tight? That's how it needs to be. So I'll have to loosen it, but I can't use this one. It's got to be longer than this. And I only have a 14 millimeter. So I'm gonna have to use my other wrench for this. Okay, so I've loosened these. Now I can adjust. You see how I can bring the tire in? I'll take the chain off, and now I can remove the tire completely. Okay. Okay, so I've replaced the back inner tube, and I've replaced the tire on the back. But now it's time to create that tension on the chain. It was a lot tighter than that. So I want to make sure that I have just about the same tension that I had before. I'm just gonna push back as much as I can, tighten this side up, and then we'll go for the other side. Okay, that chain is pretty tight. Try this side. Almost done here. Final thing to do, replace the training wheels. Tighten everything up there. Good. Valve cover. And we're good. Now we're gonna present the bike to Silas. One last thing I forgot was replacing the bike seat. This one is cracked, it's old. Very cool though, it has the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle logo. But we're gonna replace it with a newer seat. Tubing is the same. Silas is a short guy, so should be good.
Get this. Where did you get
Is it
this?
too short? You want me to raise the seat a bit?
No, dear. Where did you get this?
Well, there was a neighbor that was throwing it away. It looked like it was covered with dirt, and the handlebars were old, the grips were old and broken, so I bought new ones. Did you see what the...
I know, it's Ninja Turtle.
I know, but did you see what you're driving, like what you're holding on to?
No.
Look carefully, what is that?
Oh, they're nunchucks.
They're
That's
nunchucks,
cool.
bro. Wow! So thanks for being part of this cool reveal, bike reveal, refurbish, whatever you want to call it. So the next couple sessions, we're going to be training Silas on how to ride the bike without those training wheels. But we're going to let him enjoy the training wheels for a bit, and then we'll show you how that goes. Thank you, Teach for Love. Click like and tell other people to subscribe to this channel so I can have a lot of subscriptors.